Westile is part of the CRH Oldcastle Worldwide group of companies and offers plaza pavers in a wide variety of colors and finishes from 5 manufacturing facilities located in the USA and Canada. Plaza paver is a hydropressed concrete product, allowing it to be used in all climates as part of a roofing and/or waterproofing system. Plaza pavers are used in a variety of applications, including universities, museums, office buildings, hotels, hospitals, residential homes, and condominiums. Westile screwjack pedestals support and elevate plaza pavers, allowing for the construction of level plaza areas over slope-to-drain surfaces. This screwjack system features a unique threaded design, eliminating time-consuming installation, allowing for cost-effective plazas over any difficult surface. Screwjack pedestals offer new possibilities for plaza design and construction. The Westile screwjack system has an elevation range from 1/16 inch to 24 inches. They are easy to use, quick to install, resulting in 3-to-1 labor savings over typical pedestal installations. Each pedestal is made of high-impact polypropylene, is impervious to water and freeze-thaw cycles, and has a 1,000-pound per pedestal load-bearing capacity. Quickly achieve precise elevation by simply turning the pedestal base for a level and smooth paver surface. Integrated tabs allow for drainage and uniform spacing. Use stackable pedestals and shims for elevations beginning from 1/16 inch. The screwjack pedestals start at 1 1/4 inch. The plaza paver and screwjack pedestal system are loose-laid products that rest on top of the waterproofing membrane, which can be easily disassembled for future maintenance. This one-of-a-kind system can be used for new construction and retrofitting. There are 3 basic steps when planning and installing a plaza deck using pavers and pedestals: planning the plaza deck, establishing the plaza deck layout, and pedestal and paver installation, which includes slope compensation methods and products. The contractor must first verify with the general contractor or building owner the finished height of the paver surface. This is usually determined by the height of thresholds located around the plaza deck. When choosing screwjack sizes, use measurements from the construction site to avoid possible discrepancies from the architectural plan. First of all, locate the threshold that will determine the finished height of the paver surface. This will be the shortest screwjack. Take measurements at other various points around the deck. Proceed by setting the laser level receiving unit to read the finished height of the paver surface. Measure the distance from the finished paver surface to the roof drain. The height measured at the drain will be the tallest pedestal. Transpose the field measurements onto the pedestal and paver planning guide to determine the number of pavers and pedestal sizes needed. Subtract the paver thickness from the finished paver surface to attain the pedestal support height. Call Westile to verify paver thickness. To determine the number of pavers needed, take measurements of both the length and width of the deck surface. For more exact estimating, measure the paver length and add the 3/16 inch spacer tab to attain the on-center dimension. When installing pavers, it is recommended the full pavers be in the middle and the cut pavers be along the perimeter. The cut pavers should be equal in the length and the width. To determine the screwjack height at the desired threshold, mark the finished height of the paver surface on the wall. Measure the paver thickness. Subtract the thickness of the paver and mark the pedestal support height on the wall. Set the laser level receiving unit to read the pedestal support height. Moving along the perimeter wall, mark the pedestal support height about every 20 feet. Snap chalk lines on the perimeter wall. This is the reference line for the pedestal height. Refer to your pedestal and paver planning guide to determine the width of the cut pavers along the perimeter. This will determine where to begin paver installation. First, create a perimeter guideline on the substrate by marking 2 points of equal distance from the wall. This line represents the width of the cut pavers at the perimeter. Next, create a perpendicular guideline to establish the starting point for paver layout. Refer to the pedestal and paver planning guide for guideline placement. Use the 6-8-10 rule to create a perpendicular line. Starting with a straight line, mark 2 points 6 feet apart. From the first point, measure 8 feet out and make a dash. From the second point, measure 10 feet out and make another dash. The intersection of the 2 dashed lines will be perpendicular. To increase the accuracy of layout for larger decks, proportionally enlarge the triangle produced by the 6-8-10 rule. Determine the starting point by measuring from the perpendicular guideline. Lay out the first 2 rows of screw jacks along the perimeter guideline. Adjust the first row of screw jacks to be level with the chalk line on the perimeter wall. When adjusting the second row of pedestals, use a standard level or the laser level to arrive at the pedestal support height. Begin the paver installation at the second row with full-size pavers running horizontal with the wall. The cut pavers along the perimeter are installed last. Install the next row of pavers perpendicular to the first row, forming a T pattern. Using the story pole from the laser level, adjust each pedestal to the pedestal support height. A 3-person crew is recommended, 2 to carry pavers, and 1 to fit pavers into place and fine-tune pedestals. This is the starting point to install the other pavers. When installing pavers along the perimeter, measure the distance from the second row of pavers to the perimeter wall. Mark the measurements on the paver. Use duct tape for a guideline if using a dry saw. When using a dry saw, set the blade to half the paver thickness. If possible, cut pavers well away from the area receiving pavers to avoid discoloring with cut dust or slurry. Earplugs and mask are required when using a dry saw. Clean the cut paver thoroughly with a brush or blower to avoid discoloration. Score the back of the paver along the cut. Place the paver over a thin board and tap the cut portion with a hammer. Chisel excess paver along the cut. The paver is ready to be installed. When using a wet saw, mark the paver cut with a pencil. The wet saw is able to cut through the entire paver. Remove tabs in the long direction when installing pedestals along the perimeter. Remove all 4 tabs on the corner pedestals. Use 2 tabs on the perimeter pedestals, and use all 4 tabs in the middle of the deck. Place B11 rubber shims in a stair-step manner under screw jacks to compensate for minor slopes. B11s can be used in whole or in segments. PH5 top levelers snap on top of screw jacks and are used for slopes up to 5/8 inch per foot. Rotate to attain level. PH5s do not remove the tilt out of the pedestal, so they are best used on top of screw jacks with lower elevations. LD4 bottom levelers are used for slopes between 1/4 inch to 1 inch per foot. Stack and rotate to achieve level. Use 1 LD4 for 1/4 inch per foot slope and up to 4 LD4s for 1 inch per foot slope. LD4s should be used under screw jacks with higher elevations. This keeps the screw jack plumb and more stable. When the door threshold height is slightly more than the thickness of the paver, use a B11 rubber shim plus a spacer tab to begin paver installation. Spacer tabs must be installed between the pavers to maintain uniform spacing. B11 shims can be stacked for heights up to 1/2 inch. Use stackable pedestals and shims for elevations starting at 1/2 inch. Use the C4 coupler in conjunction with screw jacks to reach higher elevations up to 36 inches. For elevations in excess of 19 inches, extra bracing is required for added stability. Call Westile when heights of pedestals exceed 19 inches to verify bracing specifications. Since 1981, Westile has been dedicated to manufacturing high-quality roofing products. Westile has a nationwide network of representatives and distributors. For more information, call 800-433-8453 or visit westile.com.